How are we? Let me check on the computer to see if I'm actually live. I think I might be. The phone says I am. Da-da-da. Can you guys hear the copyright-free jazz music I got going on? Da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't know if I'm live or not. Ah, here we go. Let me turn the monetization to on. I don't do this shit for free, you guys. Not that YouTube pays me much. Da 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 da. Baby, how are you? All right. We're doing good. High fives and boners. Got it going. Lambo guy, thank you for the horn. That's a damn good liqueur. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, audience of all ages, welcome to another edition of Shatterday. I apologize for the camera quality. I'm streaming from my phone. Had to take my car to Meineke today. Dude, that's cars for you. That's cars for you. Good thing you're not on a sailboat. I used to live on a sailboat years ago. You know what BOAT stands for? Bust out another 1,000. Oof. Yeah. Camera looks fine. Well, thank you very much, Icy. How are we doing, guys? How's your Saturday so far? I had to take my truck in to get looked at because my rear differential looked like it's a little moist back there. The pumpkin was a little wet. And my front transfer case, same. And I'm thinking this is going to be a lot of money. And thank God I got a good mechanic. They went through it, so I dropped it off at 8 o'clock. I called him at 3 because I haven't heard from him. And I'm like, how's it going? And it's all, we're done. I'm like, okay. And they said, the seals don't really look that bad because we checked the levels on the fluid and it was just barely low. So we just topped it off and all that. And I said, okay. And they said, look, if you want to replace the seal on your front transfer case, you're looking at a couple of grand. And I have close to 300,000 miles on that truck. And basically that metal has worn a groove in there. So even if they put a new gasket on, a new seal, it may not stop the leak. So I'm just going to drive that thing and just keep topping it off until it actually dies on me. So yeah, $500 is like, that's what I paid for that truck. Me and my boyfriend have been bringing up your videos, even showed you to my grandpa. I know it'd be hard to understand that a woman watches these videos. I don't, you know what, laddie, you'd be surprised. I was actually surprised. Some of the best poop stories submitted to me are from women. Take the last live stream I did, for example. She ate nothing but, she was, I think she's in college doing the studying and stuff like that. And she ate nothing but pumpkin seeds for like 2-3 days straight or something. And she couldn't shit them out. And I still have it. I don't delete any of these emails you guys send me. She said that she shoved her vibrator up her ass to try and break loose the pumpkin seeds. I told that to my wife and her jaw hit the floor. She's like, are you fucking kidding me? My car's been getting hot after replacing my radiator fan. Can't figure out why my fans won't start. Okay, so Lambo guy. I wonder if it's the electrical relay that goes to it. I'm not sure. Are you sure that it's the fan itself? Could be your thermostat. Could be that. Grant, had to do listen to your videos at work yesterday. Nice. Squid Pickles. Hey man, I want to let you know I've been listening to your stories while on my new job. You're the funniest guy I know. Also wondering if you have a Discord I can join. Squid, yes, thank you very much. They did replace the relay and that still didn't work. It could be a number of things. Is that it's not your water pump, is it? When was the last time you replaced your timing belt and water pump? Ribbit. Pardon me, that was gross. All right, if you guys want to join the Discord, you can. Click the link right here, and all I ask is don't be an asshole. It's very well policed. Might be the fuse box on top of the battery. Yeah, I would check that out too. I don't see why you'd throw a fuse for your radiator fan though. You drive a VW? Oh, fuck. That's not good. Had to jump my car a few weeks ago, started my car and blew all the fuses. Okay, Grant, you have a bigger problem than just a battery. That's not good. That's not good at all. I'd get that checked out. You know what happened to me? Here's my fucking bad luck. In the mid 90s, I bought a 90s. What year was that truck? I think it's a 96 Nissan pickup truck. Bought it. I was living with my folks at the time in Fort Smith, Arkansas, working at a record store in the mall. Paid that fucker off like right away. Then I ended up driving across country, going back to California, and I started working for a video game company, 2K Interactive. And I hear on the intercom, oh yeah, here we go. Someone's truck out in the parking lot is on fire. A truck is on fire. And I'm thinking, that's gotta be mine. And sure as shit, I went out to the parking lot. Everybody runs out there. My truck's on fire. I run up to it. And the airbag had gone off. The windshield wipers are going crazy. The stereo's blasting. I had some sort of an electrical short with, I don't know, with the airbag or whatever, but anything electrical was on in the truck. And I'm like, fuck. And I had a shell on the back. And I had a bunch of stuff in there in the back of the truck, and I realized, fuck, I got a half a tank of gas in this thing. So I lift up the back, I grab my stuff out of it, and once I grabbed the essentials before the flames really started getting to me, I ran off back to the building. And for some reason this day, I parked in like just an off area of the lot away from other people, so nobody's vehicles got damaged. Then all of a sudden, boom! It popped, and my wallet. I left it in my glove box, and it landed at my feet. I shit you not, on fire. I stomped it out. My social security card was like charred around the edges, and I had to put tape over it and everything. And so I had it towed off to a yard and to a salvage yard. I got called into the office, and there's like my boss, HR, and another person there and stuff. And I'm like, this is great. And I said, I have no idea what caused it. Sorry. And they said, well, is there anything that we can do? And I said, you could give me some more hours so I could buy another car. And they just sat there. I said it just nonchalantly like that. And they looked at each other, and one of them said, I'm very shocked at how well you're taking this. And I said, it's shit happens, mostly to me. And I ended up buying my friend Tony Snagoff. He's a stuntman. He had this old 80s it was a Volvo 240 DL that I bought off of him for $1,500, and I drove that fucking thing. All right, Icy, thank you very much. You have a good one, man. And oh, it's been fixed. Oh, nice. That's good, Grant. The Pork Chop Express. No, it wasn't that. I sold that truck to a pro wrestling friend of mine. He's a cop out in LA. His name's Paul. He doesn't know a screwdriver from a bus driver. The guy knows nothing about mechanics. So I sold him that truck, and he hit me up a while back, and he said the truck blew up, the engine blew up. And I said, what happened? He said, well, I never checked the oil on it, and it just went dry. I let it warm up, and it seized up. I should have told him how to check the oil after I sold it to him, and it just remind him every like couple months, hey, check the dipstick, add a quart. So sad. Have I ever taken a pile driver from the top rope? No, Grant. In my very first wrestling match ever, I had to take a finisher, which was a Death Valley driver off the top, and it was surprisingly not as bad at all. It wasn't that bad at all. I thought it was going to be way worse because it looks bad. No, it was fucking easy. Same with the superplex. I took a superplex off the top. There's something about like both you hitting the mat at the same time. It's more trampoline-y and soft, and it's not as bad. So yeah, that wasn't bad. I don't like getting up on the top rope though. I go up there to flip everybody off, and then I climb back down. Death Valley drivers banned. No, I don't know about that. I know pile drivers they got rid of. I know pile drivers they banned that. I'm not sure when. I want to say it was right around the time when Owen Hart gave a pile driver to Steve Austin and broke his neck. Oh, dude, Lambo guy, don't worry about it. Dude, this shit happens to people all the fucking time, dude. All the fucking time. Cars will take a shit on you. Just be thankful it's not winter and there's no ice on the ground yet. Shit like that. Don't worry about it. It's a bummer. It's a downer. It is what it is. It's not fun. Unfortunately, it's part of life. Are you guys ready for some poop stories? Are ya? I know I am. Da 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 ba 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 da. I've been through about 5 cars. About how many cars? Oh, that many. 6 cars in 5 years. Yeah, dude, that sucks. Oh, when Psycho Sid broke his leg when he hopped out. Yeah, that was in a match against Scott Steiner. That was the most disgusting injury I've ever seen in pro wrestling, and they kept showing the replay on it over and over and over again. Connor, how are you? High fives and boners. How are you? Yeah, I cringe when I see like leg injuries like that. Oh, just fucking hate it. I used to drive PT Cruisers. Get yourself like an older Toyota Corolla or something. Get yourself an older Toyota with that 22R motor. Those are the best. The next toilet paper review. You know what? If you guys want me to do another review bra toilet paper review, I'll do one. I have some toilet paper in there that's made of bamboo, and it's septic safe and shit like that. I'll do another one if you guys want. I'll do another one. I just don't want to. I don't want to be a one-trick pony, I guess. Big question, what do you think is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life? Just like the weirdest thing? Fuck, dude, I don't know. Weirdest thing. Maybe the UFO that I saw. Oh, review school toilet paper. You know what I should probably do? Is I should hit up the schools and just ask them. Ask them what brand of toilet paper those guys are using there. Are you married? Yes, I am. 14 years. 14 years. I can't believe I found somebody to put up with me. And all this is her fault. My YouTube channel. She told me during the COVID lockdowns, I was going crazy. I wasn't working. I was going absolutely bored bananas. And we were watching lots of YouTube stuff. And she said, why don't you make a channel and tell your crazy stories on there? And I said, nobody's ever going to watch any of that shit. And she says, who cares? Just let it go. Say anything you want. If nobody's going to watch it, who cares? It'll give you something to do because you're going crazy. Here we are. Here we are. All right. I got a tri-tip out in the smoker right now. I started that thing I threw it in at 6:45. It ought to be doing pretty nice right now. Yeah, she's a real one. Do you think most parents would approve of you? Yeah, I don't know. I'm a pretty harmless dude, honest. I definitely don't run with the traffic, I'll say that. Yeah, now you got my origin story. And she's telling me I should run for mayor one day. And I'm like, nobody's gonna vote for me. All this dirt I put out there on YouTube and shit, the Costco incident, all this stuff, getting a boner during an ultrasound, all that stuff. I'm like, I have no skeletons in my closet. It's all of that shit is on my YouTube channel. And she said, at least you're honest about it and stuff like that. And you bring a lot of happiness to people around the world with these goofy stories, and you know, you got nothing to hide. If anything, people appreciate your honesty and shit. I'm like, you got a point there. I'm gonna run for mayors. I would get American citizenship to vote for you. Most honest politician. I'd make sure that all public restrooms are fully stocked with toilet paper and open 24/7. That'd be my first thing. I'd get rid of male nurses too. The only thing a male should be nursing is an IPA. Here. That's my policy right there. All right, guys. How about some poop stories? That's why we're here today. Let me click on the unread. How do I sort this shit? Sort. Oh, I don't want to do that. Sort by unread. I don't read these ahead of time. Would I get rid of any toilet paper brand? No. I think you should be able to have freedom of choice to buy whatever toilet paper you want. I think there should be, I don't know. I think that, I think it should be, the amount of plies that are on there, you should be aware of. You need to be ply smart when it comes to toilet paper. Single ply, double ply, that stuff doesn't work that well. It needs to be like emboldened where you see it. You know, on the back of cigarettes where it shows people dying of lung cancer and shit, like the packs of smokes you buy in Canada and stuff like that, those warning labels. Toilet paper brands should have the same. It should have like a finger like poking through or something. Exactly. Yeah, I've been folding a lot. Abolish one ply. It's good for nothing, really, guys. Unless the only thing single ply toilet paper is good for is making a landing pad for your turd when you sit down before you take a shit. Grab a handful of it, throw it in the water. That way, you're not getting Poseidon's kiss, and it doesn't leave any streaks when you flush. That's the only thing single ply toilet paper is good for. Is prepping. Is prep work. Blowing your nose, something like that. Even then, you're going to get snot on your hands. Yeah. Yeah, you roll it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Does a bear shit in the woods? It does. I've seen bear shit over by my can out there. Poseidon's kiss? Yeah, that's when you drop a deuce, when you bust a grumpy, and the weight of it splashes the water so much it comes up and gets you right in your leather Cheerio. Whoo! Get you one of those, you know what I mean? I haven't been using toilet paper much, though, to be honest, guys, just for that reason. That's the only thing I've been using toilet paper for lately, is because I got that bidet I put in, and that thing tosses my salad. It's like a garden hose. It just cleans everything out. I love it. SummerSlam's tonight. Fuck yeah, that's right. Yeah, probably. All right, you guys, let's get to it. Thoughts on bidets. During COVID, when for some reason everybody was buying toilet paper, I don't understand why. After I take a shit, I would hop in the shower and have a detachable shower head, and I put it on the jet mode, and I'd wash my asshole that way. That way I wasn't using toilet paper, because for some reason it was a commodity that, you know, I don't understand. I have friends in Australia hit me up online that said, why are you guys buying toilet paper? I'm like, I don't fucking know, but I'm not doing it. I'm buying canned goods and Clorox wipes. These assholes are buying toilet paper. But anyways, and then once the lockdowns got lifted, I still went back to, I was doing both. I had toilet paper. If I needed to take a shower, I'd shit and then hop in the shower and wash my butt. But since then, I saw in Slick Deals, Amazon had a bidet for $20. I bought it and I did a video on it on my channel. I installed it. I showed you how to do it, and I tried it out, and it was a bit alarming at first, but now I love it. It's really good. You sent me 2 of them? Okay. Are there any variations of Poseidon's kiss? Yeah, maybe Poseidon's sneeze, where it splashes and just shotguns all over your ass cheeks. Hey, what's up? I don't know how to read that, but hi, welcome in. All right, let's freaking go. Let's get sharded. Da-da-da. All right, so a lot of you guys sent me some poop stories from the last live stream that we did. Omni Vampire, oh, welcome in. High fives and boners. And they went right to my spam folder, so I feel really bad for not getting to them. So we're gonna do it right now. So we're gonna start off with the ones that you guys sent me, and I'm gonna go from the oldest to the newest. The Pringles can story, thanks. That's a good one. All right, guys, here we go. Hi, Jay. I have a story of my own. My dad, a little younger than you, in February started taking a weight loss drug known as Zepbound. Never heard of that. Zepbound reduces your appetite, and if you eat more than what Zepbound wants you to eat, you become Zepbound's bitch by making you shit and vomit. That's not good. Side effects include shitting and vomiting. One morning, my dad was driving me to school, and he was still getting used to the limits of Zepbound. He ate too much for breakfast that day, and Zepbound let him know it. I was waiting for him to go to the car, and it took him longer than usual. When we got to the car, he explained that he'd been straining on the toilet. When we got on the road, he started getting explosive diarrhea feelings. He keeps chewable Pepto-Bismol in the center console in case of scenarios like this. He popped 4 tablets, which were like 4 doses of condensed Pepto-Bismol. He had to pull over at a gas station anyway and run in and poo in a stall. He didn't get much out, but bought enough time to get me to school. He let me out, then quickly peeled out to work to where he shit periodically throughout the day. That's fucking crazy. You gotta be careful on these prescription drugs, dude. When I blew up my ACL, they gave me Norco and shit after I had that first surgery. Dude, that bound me up for I didn't shit for 4 days. One of the guys in my school shat all over the teacher's bathroom and spread on the walls. What the fuck? Sickos. That's disgusting. Okay. Let me go back to unread. What? I can't really... Alright. This is a long one. After having sex with the fourth girl of my young life at the time, I decided to get an STD check. Not for any physical reasons, mostly for the emotional reassurance. I've been there. Anyways, I called my neighbor across the street who is 3 years older than me, basically my big brother, and I told him that I made an appointment to get checked, and I asked him what that entailed. He said it wasn't too bad. They did a sperm sample, swabbed his dick, checked his blood, etc. So I felt pretty prepared going in there a few days later. On my way to the clinic, I was feeling pretty nervous to ejaculate in a cup. They made you jack off in a fucking cup? When I got tested, they didn't do any of that. They're like, hey, we just need you to rub one out in a cup. They didn't do that for me. Wow. That's interesting. Is that right? When I finally got there, an older lady called my name and handed me a clear cup and escorted me to the restroom and said, please go in here. I was picturing more of a comfortable room where I could do my private thing of choking my chicken. But I thought, fuck it, the bathroom will suffice. I remember looking around for some pornographic material because my neighbors said they provide you with some, but there was nothing. Okay. Is your poop involved in it? Well, I'm afraid to ask, actually. I remember thinking, what the fuck? This place just expects us to use our imagination? Disappointed, I said, oh well. A lot like I haven't used my imagination before, so I began yanking it over the sink. Anyways, I remember amazingly rubbing one out pretty fucking fast, almost too fast. So I thought I'd wait in there an additional 10 minutes because I didn't want her to think I was some type of freak. Okay. Oh, this may not be a poop story. This could be an embarrassing yank it story because I did ask you guys to send me some of those. After waiting there for what felt like an eternity, I finally handed my semen-filled cup back to the old lady nurse who acted impatient and upset it took so long. I began following her down the hallway. The woman set the cup on this desk table thingy, looked at it, and then picked it up again, and she jiggled the cup a bit. She stopped. I held my breath as I looked at her face. As I saw it turn from confusion to sheer horror, she turned to me and goes, sir, we only needed your urine. Oh, shit. What gave you the idea to fucking rub one out in the cup? No fucking way, dude. Holy shit. You gotta be kidding me. I was gonna say, when I got tested for STDs, when I was like 23, 24, they just told me to pee in a cup. Holy shit, dude. You jacked off in a fucking plastic cup. No wonder she's like, wait, what's taking this guy so long to pee? Holy shit. I'll never forget the feeling that I had at that very moment. My face got red. I felt immediately hot. My legs felt weak. I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. There have been so many embarrassing moments in my life, but luckily, I can think pretty quickly on my feet, and I can dig my way out of most uncomfortable situations. As for this moment, there was no fucking shovel in sight for me to dig myself out of. Nothing to say, nothing to do. I just stood there, terrified. I just jizzed in a fucking urine sample cup, and now this poor elderly woman was probably months away from retirement and was now horrified and confused as she's gripping a hot cup of my potential babies. I'm guessing the clinic never trained her for situations like this. Even if she had made a joke to lighten the mood, it would have been better. It would have killed the tension in the room. Instead, she remained stoic. I felt awkward and scared, like a monster. After going back to pee, and a few tests later, I got the fuck out of there. After much reflection, though, I think that she deserved it. How? Because honestly, yes, I did assume that she wanted a sperm sample, but the woman never specified what she wanted. Therefore, she assumed I knew too, and when both people are assuming, chances are that one of them is going to get a cup full of the other one's jizz. It's just the way it is. I still cringed just thinking about that day. Sometimes when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I randomly think of that old woman's face as she realized she's holding a cup filled with my hot semen soldiers, and I just burst out laughing and I shake my head. Good times. Holy shit. That's embarrassing as fuck. Oh my god, dude. That's the most embarrassing story ever. Holy shit. For unrelated reasons, modern day terrorists. Wow. Okay. Oh shit. Hang on. He sent me a double one. That's fine. The Panera Plunderer. Hey, King Creo here. This is a story about how I absolutely decimated a Panera Bread toilet. That place is expensive. They got one down the mountain. Fucking expensive. For some context, I'd just eaten a pepperoni sandwich before they removed it, and a bread bowl mac and cheese. Turns out Panera Bread and the Taco Bell I had for breakfast doesn't mix well. Soon enough, I was rushing to the bathroom, practically shitting my pants at this point. As soon as I made cheek-to-seat contact, it was World War III, a certified dookie disaster. A second barrage has hit the bowl type of shit. Ralph. There was diarrhea. He spelled it the way I say it. Everywhere in the bowl. I couldn't breathe. It was absolutely wretched in there. I really feel bad to whoever went in there next, but even worse for the employee who had to clean it. Needless to say, I never went back to Panera since, and that's that. You know what's really embarrassing? And let me know if this has ever happened to you guys. You're at a store. It has like 3 or 4 stalls in there for shitting. You go into one of the stalls and it's clogged and it's a fucking disaster. It's like a shit grenade went off in there. And you're like, nope. And the other ones are occupied. And you're thinking, I can hold it in for a bit. So you open the door to leave that stall, and on the way out, somebody walks in and you make eye contact with them and they go in there. That's embarrassing as fuck, because now that person thinks that you blew up that toilet and you left it that way. That's when you stop shopping and get the hell out of there. And there's no way you could convince them otherwise. Like, hey, it wasn't me. I saw that and it was bad. All right, Abdusky, thank you so much for hanging around. Hey, Meme Sentinel's in here. What's happening, man? Okay. The time I shit my pants at Air Force flight school. This has to be gold. 22-year-old me sitting in the cockpit of a UH-60G Pavehawk helicopter 2 hours into a major milestone evaluation of flight school. Your breakfast was Taco Bell and 3 cups of burnt Joe. Not a good mix. Guys, this is off to an amazing start. Heck, man, how are you? It is indeed. Welcome in. High fives and boners. I think this guy's gonna shit on himself on a helicopter. This could be really good, you guys. Davey, how are you? Taco Bell for breakfast and 3 cups of burnt coffee. That's a recipe for disaster. We are hoisting up a dummy in the back of the helichopper, and it hits me out of nowhere. Usually these moments are prefaced by tumbling, churning, and the lot. Sure. That was not the case here. It was like someone hit my large intestine with a turbo dose of drain cleaner. It just popped out into my flight suit's flame retardant ass pouch. Fireproof? Sure. Definitely not smell proof. Nobody in that chopper said a word, but we all knew that someone shit themselves. It's like that movie, The Thing. You don't know who the alien is? Nobody in the helichopper fucking knew who shit themselves. You just kind of play it off. That's crazy, dude. The shame of wearing shit pants on the flight back to the base was unbearable, but I had to maintain my composure. Calm, cool, collected is what I told myself over and over again. It was late August and the cockpit was around 105 degrees during our air taxi back to the ramp. And the stink absolutely filled the cockpit once the airflow through it stopped. It was miserable. I passed that ride with flying colors. However, there were some brown colors in my pants that would never be clean. I chucked that entire flight suit out, which is a testimony to how bad it was because they cost about 250 doubloons these days. Nobody ever called me out on it, but when I graduated, I ended up with the call sign Huff. I think they knew. Holy shit. Bravo, sir. And thank you for your service. Oh my God, dude. That's a good one. That's the first one we've got, guys, where a guy shit himself on a helicopter. In last live stream, we had a woman had to use a vibrator to break up her shit in her ass to try and get it out. Fucking hey, guys, these are good ones. How did these Air Force guys even shit at 30,000 feet? I know, right? There's a guy that I talked to. They're putting in a lot of power lines, redoing the power lines up by where I work at. And I was talking to a guy. He said that guys that climb up those big ass lines and stuff like that, they get up there, they're doing their work and they got a shit. They just loosen their belt a bit and just kind of slide their pants down and shit when they're up on top of these power poles. And they call them mud falcons. Mud falcons. This is an anonymous one. First sentence. Do not leak this email. I want to be anon with this. One of my worst experiences. Oh, this is the gummy one. I was a victim of the dreaded sugar-free Haribo gummies. I need to do that fucking challenge, you guys. This was early February this year. I ate said gummies at a gas stop during a road trip with my family. They were cheap and I was broke. I suspect nothing as they tasted the same. A few hours passed and I felt something was off. I began sweating like a hog in heat and my stomach rumbling like a damn earthquake. There was no bathroom break in sight. I held on, clenching my ass streaks and praying to our Lord and Savior for strength and perseverance. An hour went by, and we were beginning to pull into a town. Thank the Lord, I murmured, and asked my dad to pull in the gas station because I had to go badly. He said, "No, we're close to home. We'll waste time here." Oh man, if I had a kid and said, Dad, I need to go to the toilet, I would fucking slam on the brakes, get off on the next exit. Oh, man. I died inside hearing that as an immigrant family, so arguing / fighting back with parents is unheard of. I stared out of the car window in agony with every painful second passing by. My mom looked at me and saw the pain in my eyes. In our native language, she said, "Husband, please pull into the gas station. This kid's dying." He reluctantly pulled into a random gas station, and I ran in, clenching my cheeks full force. I sat down and released a shit that sounded so vile I was disgusted with myself. I felt the reverberation of my shrieks in my heart as I felt shit leave my body. I let out heavy breaths as I was getting some good head. That's like a blumpkin. Lambo guy, you know what a blumpkin is. He pulls these fucking disgusting sexual acts that nobody's ever done, but they're fucking hilarious. I was staring up at the ceiling as my body was vibrating uncontrollably like a shit-making machine. After an hour, I stared at the vile mountain of shit in the bowl. I've never felt so lighter after that. I've never eaten Haribo's sugarless gummies since then. Fuck them. That is fucking funny. I got to do that challenge. Hey, Uncle Jay, happy Saturday. First, I appreciate it if you could say a few words about my boy Zeke on your stream. I'd love to show him the footage. High fives and boners, Zeke. Anyway, here's my story. The incident took place on a summer evening in 2019. My mother was out of town visiting her father, who was battling cancer and sadly passed November that year. Fuck, sorry to hear that. It was around 7 p.m. and my dad had just finished dinner, which consisted of Red Baron pizza and Kroger brand hash browns. While I was playing games on my iPad, my dad went in the bathroom to lay down the brown. We had recently moved, and the new house had a 1.6 gallon toilet, unlike our previous home with a much more powerful 5-gallon model, capable of flushing a turd straight from the asshole of the Pringles can pooper. My dad, who was used to the older toilet, was struggling with the new one. Suddenly, I heard him yell, "Fuck!" with nothing but pure horror in his voice. I asked what was wrong, and he told me with a shaky voice, "Don't come into the fucking toilet. It's busted." A couple of minutes later, his yelling grew louder. "Fuck!" he explained as I asked again what was wrong. He shouted at me to call his brother for help immediately. Apparently, he had decided to flush the toilet again, which led to the bathroom flooding with shit water. Fuck. Fucking deep. I called his brother, handed the phone to my dad, who was nearly in tears, begging for help despite his brother living over 30 minutes away. For some reason, he thought his brother would be able to fix the situation. After a brief conversation, my dad told his brother to not come over. The next morning, my mom had returned. She cleaned up the mess. Your dad left that mess for her to clean up? I filed for divorce. That's grounds for divorce. Oh my God. Meanwhile, I was with my dad, who drove me back to our old home for the night while he waited for my mom to thoroughly clean the bathroom. Hope you enjoyed this story. High fives and boners. I did, but dude. Well, what's up with your dad, man? There was no way. There's no fucking way, guys, I would ever make my wife clean up the bathroom. Especially after a shit. We've been together 14 years. She's never cleaned the toilet. That's why we're still married. Little adulting relationship advice there. Don't let her ever clean your fucking toilet. Ever. Ever. All right, Tom. I don't know if you're in here. Hey, Jay, I sent you that poop story about me having food poisoning at my local arcade. Oh, my God. I'm really glad you enjoyed it because I've watched more. Nice. Mostly from my father, who's sadly no longer with us. Damn it, Tom. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. His memory lives on with these funny poop stories. Thank you for sending them to me. But I'm keeping his spirit alive by recapping his stories. Yes, you are. This is, by the way, not one of his, but I'll start off with this one from personal experience. In 2005, I was in the 6th grade. My parents and I lived in California on a steep hill with about a half a mile of windy road to get to the bottom where my school was. I'd eaten a lot of homemade garlic bread, nice, corn, and barbecued ribs the night before. Very good stuff. Now, before I continue, let me say that fatty food never really agreed with me. It gives me diarrhea, and even to this day, I have to be careful. Continuing, I just reached the intersection. Continuing, I just reached the intersection at the bottom of the hill. I pushed the crosswalk button. Suddenly, I felt the urge to fart, so being the disgusting idiot that I am, I clenched my fist, held my breath, and forced out what I can only describe as Taco Bell aftermath. Ooh, that's a good term. Understandable. Relatable. Except more watery. Oh, that's bad. Now, these were the days before smartphones, and hardly any kid even had a Nokia soap bar, as we called them. Thankfully, but yeah, in 2005, it was bad. Nobody had good phones back then. But thankfully, unfortunately, I was alone. So I couldn't call on my parents to come and get me. Faced with all this, I trudged back up the half-mile hill, brown water spilling out with every step. Just splish, splash, splish, splash. That sucks, dude. Did it get your shoes? Oh my God. By the time I got home, I was so livid that I slammed the door, stripped naked, threw my clothing in the garbage, and immediately took a shower. Attaboy. To make matters worse, when I opened my bathroom door, both my parents were there asking what the hell happened. After I explained, my father was laughing so hard he could hardly breathe. My mom, on the other hand, showed great concern. She took my temperature and figured I was well enough to go to school. As I was getting dressed, I overheard my father talking to one of his friends, recapping what I told him. I was so embarrassed and angry that I backhanded the landline out of his hand, hung it up, and told him I'd never speak to him again if he told anyone else. Looking back at this whole story, I feel like I really overreacted. Thanks for keeping us entertained, Jay. Love your videos, Tom. Tom, thank you so much. High fives and bonus. You know what, though, Tom? If you have kids and this happens to your boy, you don't have a hair on your ass to do the same thing your old man did. Oh my God. That's funny. Yeah, it's embarrassing, but dude, you're laughing now, man. All right, Tom, sent me another one. Sorry about mislabeling my last story. This is the actual story from my father. All right. This is the last one, by the way. Back in the 70s, my dad was working for Westinghouse as an engineering consultant. One day he was on a flight to Russia. He was sitting next to a large, disproportionate Russian local with a torso longer than his arms or legs. It's kind of like me. My wife has longer legs than mine, and she's like 4 inches shorter. Paint Hover, what's happening? Maturo, what's happening, guys? You guys made it. He was sitting next to this guy with a huge shit-eating grin on his face. My dad asked, "What's so funny?" To which the Russian, who was nearly blackout drunk, replied, "I fill a lot of car with real shit to throw off sniff dogs." Immediately, my dad excused himself to the bathroom, but he actually reported the guy. As it turns out, the Russian was smuggling 500 pounds of black powder into his car back to Vladivostok. There's something about the Russian font, like signs. You just look at, words, Russian font. It just looks mean. Like no matter what it says, it could translate to kittens for sale, and it just looks like aggressive to me. You know, this guy was smuggling 500 pounds of black powder, but he's fucking, wow, that's crazy. Footnote: the reason you don't find this story anywhere is because when local Buffalo New York news asked my dad for an interview, he said, "I don't want this publicly known. The last thing this country needs is more panic." High fives and boners. Good stuff. So the guy shit to throw off the fucking dog so they wouldn't smell the powder. That's pretty fucking funny. Watching UFC fights right now. Do you ever watch them? I used to, dude. I used to be really big in the UFC when it first came out because it was nuts back then. UFC was fucking crazy back then when it first started. There was no time limits. There were no rounds. There were no gloves. No weight limits. No, nothing. I remember watching a fucking fight, a Kempo karate guy named Keith Hackney. He fought a sumo guy. And that sumo dude fucking E-Honda'd his ass through the door, blasted him through the fucking fence of the octagon. And Keith Hackney ran back in there and gave him the good news. Gave him an attaboy Fred, an overhand palm strike right to his nose, knocked him fucking down. And Keith Hackney ran over there and just capitalized with just fucking hammer fists and up and down, broke his damn hand on that guy. UFC was nuts back then. It was fucking nuts. And here's the thing with UFC back then. You won your fight, you progress to the next one. You'd fight the winner of the next fight, and you just keep going up that bracket until you won the whole damn thing. UFC back in the heyday when it first started was absolutely insane. Absolutely fucking crazy. I look like Michael from GTA 5. Thanks. I don't see the resemblance, but a lot of people say I sound like the phone dude from Five Nights at Freddy's. Which I can't get through that game because it scares the fuck out of me, because animatronics scare the shit out of me. I don't know, I should have a birthday party at fucking Chuck E. Cheese out in Reno just to see how long I last there. All right, guys, high fives and boners. I gotta go get my tri-tip out of the smoker. Thank you guys so much for spending your Saturday with me. I really do appreciate it. If you got poop stories, send them to me. TahoeWeather@AOL.com. I'll put it right here in the chat. You know what I'd do if I had fucking Elon Musk money? I would buy that Chuck E. Cheese in Reno, and I'd make it an escape room. I'd make it scary as fuck. All right, Mean Sentinel, good to see you again. Duck Fruit, Pain Huffer, all you guys. Lambo guy, you as well. I hope you get your car sorted out, dude. Sorry it's taking a shit on you. Sometimes life throws you curveballs. All right, guys, high fives and boners. I gotta get ready for work. I gotta get my tri-tip out of the smoker. I'll catch you guys latest. High fives and boners. How do I end this? Da 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 da. Oh. I'll catch you guys on the next one.